you have any stories about us specifically that you remember? Like, you and I having a conversation or something, some little thing that happened that you remember. Do you remember anything?
I remember the first time I heard you mix Linkin Park,
Ah,
and it was at I believe it was definitely one of the K Rock festivals, and one of the things that after touring with the band, one of the things that I had always appreciated was Chester's vocal,
right.
Cheston, and found him to be such a powerhouse, and the way that you mixed his vocal was just the way I wanted to hear it.
Aw.
And I remember telling you, I remember feeling like I need to tell this guy. He doesn't know anything about me, but I need to tell this guy that I love what he did.
Oh
And
man.
you received it so well, and you were so genuine and
Oh, thank
and
you.
just humble, and I appreciated that. Obviously I had seen my parade of varying front of house engineers that from easygoing to oh my god, we're never going to get it right. um, so it was I felt like I kind of felt a kinship with the two of you too, because you took a minute to understand my madness. You
Right.
took a minute to understand why we wanted your files, why we wanted the information. And I think certainly after the first time that we all worked together and you all saw how it went, then you were like, okay, I get it. Look how easy and a little less stressful, at least when it comes to this one little aspect of our world. Let's try and convey what we need to convey to make this even easier. And I definitely felt a kinship with the two of you almost immediately because of the way that you communicated and how generous you were with the information. Because I had encountered those people that didn't want to send anything.
Right.
Couldn't understand why I needed it. Couldn't understand why I was calling. Couldn't understand why we needed to advance it all.
Good guys.
And or the people that claimed they advanced with me when they hadn't. Um, or there's just a gamut. And so to have you two with at the time that station here in LA, they were playing Linkin Park like crazy,
Yeah.
and they were a big important band. They're an LA band, like this big important band in these shows, and to have the people that came with them be as awesome as you two, it was cool to be able to support all of that.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's very
I
nice,
mean,
and I just
the feeling was absolutely mutual.
oh yeah,
Like
I
we
mean, it's
said,
just
when we heard we would be working with you, we were always like, oh man, we don't have any
easy
worries.
day,
Easy day.
easy day,
Yeah,
Yeah. So
easy
yeah,
awesome.
and I
day.
felt the same about you guys too,
Yeah.
because I knew that the information I was getting was accurate and
Right.
current, and and that enabled me to. We're a service-oriented industry, man. It enabled me to offer you good service because you enabled me to see what you really needed from
That's
I
me.
just
awesome.
I just wish
Sorry, Tater. Go ahead.
I just wish people had known, in the time we were with Lincoln Park, how many of those, so-called special events we did, because I've never worked for a band where we've done that many LA special events. I mean, you think about not only the festivals, just think of like the times we did, like the movie premieres for Transformers a
Totally.
couple times,
Yeah.
parties for this, that, small things. I mean, so many of those things. There was so many, and they were all very vast in what we did. From 50 seats for some private thing to 20,000 people at an amphitheater. So they were very vast, very different, and I'll just say I thank you for handling all those like you worked for us. Like I said, I didn't realize it till now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I mean, I also wanted to cultivate my relationships, and I think in a way I didn't realize it at the time, but in a way I was very much laying the groundwork for who I am now. Because with what I do now, it's all about my relationships.
Right.
people have to trust me and know that I'm going to take care of them for what they need. And
do you find you still have to, I mean, and this business to me as a monitor engineer, you have to prove yourself every day in every show anyway. Do you feel with people you don't know, you have to do that still?
yeah,
Really?
I had a production manager for a band that's been a band of Eighth Days for a long time. And he was kind of new to production managing them. And I had taken on the account, and he kind of called and grilled me. And he used to work for another vendor as a salesperson, so he kind of felt like he knew my job. And I felt like he was testing me and testing my knowledge, seeing how quickly I could answer, seeing what kind of answers I was giving. And you know, I kind of came away from it like, wow, man, like, that's cool. We don't know each other, you know?
Yeah,
like,
totally.
But whoa, you know?
Whoa.
And it made me happy that at least, even though I don't mix anymore or tech gear anymore, that I've taken the time to at least understand what things do and how they function and how they go together. Understanding a lot about Eighth Days packaging. In the very beginning, I was by myself or with another person to prep things. So I got a really quick crash course in how our wiring system, paneling systems go. Yeah. Good time.
Crash course.
So when you first started with Eighth Day in LA, it was basically them starting up there also, right?
Yeah. When I first interviewed with Eighth Day, I thought I was going to help Owen Orzak, who does the lion's share of Eighth Day's US-based festivals.
Yep.
I thought I was going to help him advance festivals, be on site, maybe take some of the burden off of him, because he obviously does touring sales too. And, you know, once he gets into the swing of the summer festival circuit, it is really challenging for him. So the goal was to kind of lighten his load. And after I had gone to Cleveland and kind of talked to the team there at headquarters and spent some time with the CFO and the owner, they decided to kind of shift the offer and asked me if I wanted to start their location here. At first, I was sent a small pile of gear. Literally between the day that I finished at Delicate and the day that I started as a Eighth Day Sound employee, I had a show in the middle of that off. I had 2 weeks off. And I had a client that was like, can you support this show? I called Tom at Eighth Day, who's the owner, and said, hey, you know, I've got this opportunity to do this show. It's on my down week. Nobody needs to pay me for it, but I still want to support this client because they're a really good client and they're gonna come be a client of ours at Eighth Day. And I just want to start off on the right foot. He goes, if you can figure out your gear list in the next 6 hours, we've got a truck heading out to the West Coast for another client, and we can put the stuff that you need on the tail of that truck.
Wow.
So, one of the project managers at Eighth Day, Jordan Collins, and I got on the phone and we put together the system that we needed. And it came out here on a truck. And we have an extremely generous client that lent us some warehouse space. And we had that rig. And it was basically 3 consoles, a split, mic package, wedges, ears, wireless mics, kind of a generic thing. And I think in the beginning, we all thought that we would take that package and put it on a truck and go do a show with it and then come back and unload it. And it would sit in the warehouse and we wouldn't really need to touch it. And then next time we needed to do a show, we just kind of put it on a truck and go and do it. And it, without advertising, without letting the industry know that we were open, none of it, just by word of mouth, it snowballed really quickly. And we moved out of our client's warehouse in August of 2016 into the location that we're at in Sun Valley now. And we went from me being the only employee to there being 18 full-time employees now that work either, you know, all the time at the warehouse or our LA-based touring personnel.
And I know you don't want to take credit for it, but you have to say that your reputation preceding this and what you had built at the previous company to what you've done now, you have to be pretty happy in knowing that your reputation and how you worked, that's how that came about, right? I know you don't want to say it, but in reality, we all know that's how it happened, and that's why it is what it is today.
You don't have to say it, but
you don't have to say it, but we all know it.
We know.
So we'll throw it out there for you because I know you don't want to say it.
It's our industry is relationships. I mean, that's what this is all about, right?
Correct.
Is
correct
our relationships with each other, and you know, we live in a very intense world. The touring thing is intense on its own, and then if you're doing one-offs and you know, locally supported events, special events like you were discussing, you know, people's backyards, rooftops, all of that weird stuff. You know, it's all about relationships. My one client has numerous artists come in and out of their facility throughout the year, and they like me there because I know so many people that come through there and just make it easier because it's a familiar face. And I do have the same relationship with a lot of people in the industry that I have with you two, where they know that if I'm there, I'm not going to stop until it's right. And it's all of what I've cultivated my entire career. And like I said, I wasn't aware of that even 15 years ago, 10 years ago, that this is what I was going to reap from all of the sowing of helping everybody, being as accommodating as possible, not being an asshole when people showed up on site, no matter how tired or cranky or beat up I felt, to not take that out on others. All of that has paid off now. I didn't submit a resume to get my job at Eighth Day Sound. Tom Marco got on the phone and he called everybody he knew and said, "Do you know MEEGAN Holmes? And if you do, tell me what you think of her."
Yeah.
I didn't get the job because of my resume credits. I got the job because people that he knows and trusted said, "She's good. She's worth hiring." That's years of working really hard on relationships.
Indeed.
Great advice. Great advice.
Well, MEEGAN, thanks
especially in this industry.
Yeah,
it takes
absolutely.
a long time. Sometimes it takes a long time for those to come to fruition. You know what I mean? But it does pay off, doesn't it? We're seeing it here. Yeah.
Well, I think we want a quick fix right now. We want to take a pill and have it go away, right? When we don't feel good, we want to be able to just soothe and get on with it. And you know, a lot of people don't want to put in the time needed to really grow and become you know, somebody that's, you know, a strong member of the industry, you know, in the community. So I think, like I said earlier, time makes an engineer. Experience an engineer. Not I'm an engineer. I don't get to claim that unless I've got time and experience in doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
MEEGAN, thanks for coming. We really appreciate it, and thanks for doing this little after question and answer thing. We appreciate that too, and I hope that we can see each other in person sometime real soon.
Yeah, I hope so too. And please let me know if you need anything else or you know, want to follow up with anything. And I'm happy to join you again. I really, again, I have to say, I admire the fact that you guys unpacked some of the more difficult things to talk about. It's the first out of maybe 8 webinars that I've done where somebody's actually acknowledged that. So
cool.
1 in 8. I appreciate you.
Oh, that's awesome.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
All right. Well, see you soon.